Hello beautiful ones. Okay, let's get going with this video. Will take slightly longer than the rest of the videos we'll be taking every day, because I'll read the introduction for A Course in Miracles manual. We'll read the lesson and what's that lesson involves, and we will do the lesson then. And I'll get you to stop your video so you can do the lesson yourself, and then restart it, and I'll come back. I'll read the introduction for the most recent edition, the companion edition and essential other counterpart to A Course in Miracles, which is A Year of Forgiveness, which is channeled by Tina Louise Spalding and has been written and published in 2020. For 2020, funnily enough. So I'll read the introduction for both books today, but the lesson and the doing of the lesson is done first, and then we'll just come back to the video, because I'll just continue on as if it's one long video. I won't be stopping and starting. I don't think I know how. I'm not very technical. And yeah, just come back, and then we'll hear Jesus his commentary about each of the lessons every day, which is what A Year of Forgiveness is about. And it's really about applying how to apply the lessons every day and in every way. Here we go. So, introduction to A Course in Miracles manual. A theoretical foundation, such as the text, is necessary as a background to make the exercises in this workbook meaningful. Yet it is the exercises that will make the goal of the course possible. An untrained mind can accomplish nothing. It is the purpose of these exercises to train the mind to think along the lines the course sets forth. The exercises are very simple. They do not require a great deal of time, and it does not matter where you do them. They need no preparation. They are numbered, running 1 to 365. The training period is 1 year. Do not undertake more than one lesson a day. The purpose of the workbook is to train the mind in a systematic way to a different perception of everything in the world. The workbook is divided into 2 sections. The first dealing with the undoing of the way you see now, and the second with the restoration of sight. Each day's exercises are planned around one central idea, which is stated first. This is followed by a description of the specific procedures by which the idea for the day is to be applied. Many of the earlier exercises should be practiced with eyes open, to emphasize that the aim is to learn how to see. Also, unless you are instructed otherwise, it is recommended that each exercise be repeated several or even many times a day, preferably in a different place each time, and if possible, in every situation in which you spend any long period of time. The purpose is to train the mind to generalize the lessons so that you will understand that each of them is as applicable to one situation as it is to another. The only rules that should be followed throughout are these. First, to practice the exercises with great specificity. Each one applies to every situation in which you find yourself, and to everything you see in it. Second, be sure that you do not decide that there are some things to which the idea for the day is inapplicable. The aim of the exercises will always be to increase the application of the idea to everything. This will require no effort on your part. The exercises themselves meet the conditions necessary for this kind of transfer. Only be sure that you make no exceptions in applying the idea. This will interfere with transfer of training. Transfer of training in true perception does not proceed as does transfer of the training of the world. If true perception has been achieved in connection with any person, situation, or event, total transfer to everyone and everything is certain. On the other hand, one exception held apart from true perception makes its accomplishment anywhere impossible. The very nature of true perception is that it has no limits. It is the opposite of the way you see now. Some of the ideas you will find difficult to believe, and others will seem quite startling. It does not matter. You are merely asked to apply them as you are directed to do. You are not asked to judge them or even to believe them. You are merely asked to use them. It is their use that will give them meaning to you and show you they are true. Remember only this: you need not believe the ideas, you need not accept them, and you need not welcome them. Some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficacy. But allow yourself to make no exceptions in applying the ideas the exercises contain. Whatever your reaction to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than this is required. A Course in Miracles, Lesson 1. Nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place, means anything. Now, look slowly around you and practice applying this idea very specifically to whatever you see. This table does not mean anything. This chair does not mean anything. This hand does not mean anything. This foot does not mean anything. This pen does not mean anything. Then look farther away from your immediate area and apply the idea to a wider range. That door does not mean anything. That body does not mean anything. That lamp does not mean anything. That sign does not mean anything. That shadow does not mean anything. Notice that these statements are not arranged in any order and make no allowance for differences in the kinds of things to which they are applied. That is the purpose of the exercise. The statement is merely applied to anything you see. As you practice applying the idea for the day, use it totally indiscriminately. Do not attempt to apply it to everything you see, for these exercises should not become ritualistic. Only be sure that nothing you see is specifically excluded. One thing is like another as far as the application of the idea is concerned. Each of the first 3 lessons should not be done more than twice a day, preferably morning and evening, nor should they be attempted for more than a minute or so, unless that entails a sense of hurry. A comfortable sense of leisure is essential. Pause the video now and do lesson 1. Introduction to A Year of Forgiveness. Jesus, through Tina Louise Spalding. You are blessed beings indeed. I am the one you know as Jesus, and this is your year. This is the year you have chosen to do A Course in Miracles. And what a year it will be. This is the year that you are acting in accord with truth. The truth that you really don't like what your mind produces. You really don't enjoy living here that much all the time. This is a common trait for humans on this plane, on this earth plane now. A Course in Miracles was first transmitted through another channel for a specific time, and this book was channeled for this time. These lessons have been on your earth plane for over 50 years. Many teachers and groups have formed, educated themselves, and then dissolved. Some have passed on from this plane using the information and the knowledge that they gained from their studies to relieve the suffering of their distorted minds. This is what the book is for. I am that one you know as Jesus. There may be some doubts in your mind about whether or not that is true. And there is nothing I can do to prove to you that I am the one you know as Jesus. But I want you to understand that as you study this material, your hateful and unloving beliefs and ideas will be revealed in your mind. Many of them were inadvertently put there by others with the best intentions. You'll begin to see that suffering is optional. In the end, it doesn't matter whether you believe who I am. It doesn't matter. What I want you to understand is that you do not need to suffer. You do not need to live in pain and agony, in a state of sickness and eventual death. Death is an illusory state that you believe in because you've been taught about it so much in your society. Your murder movies, your war movies, your society worships death. You might say, no, this society does not worship death. We try to save people. But when you look at the actions of your governments, some of your parenting techniques, some of your working conditions, and the terrible environmental damage, degradation and damage done to the beautiful sphere on which you find yourselves living, you will know that the tree that bears the fruit of modern Western society is not a healthy one. It does not have a healthy thought system. I will guide you through the next 365 days on how to step away from the unhealthy and unloving warmongering thought system of your modern Western world toward the thought system of love and true forgiveness. You will learn each day how to train your mind, and you will learn what is within you that does not serve you, your planet, or your family. The ideas of sacrifice and suffering are not contained within this teaching. Do not bring your traditional Christian beliefs to this work. This work is about freedom. It is about self-expression, and it is about true love, the true spiritual love of one brother or sister for another. Your salvation lies in practicing these lessons. To the channel, Tina. Thank you for joining this dear being, a great teacher in your own right. I will encourage the channel to do these lessons with you daily over the next 365 days. She has some preconceived ideas of what this journey is going to be for her. She will learn her own lessons as she dedicates her life to helping you achieve the transformation of heart and mind that she has achieved. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you again soon. And now for Lesson 1's commentary by Jesus. I'll also show you a picture of Renee Phillips' illustrations of A Year of Forgiveness. I'll repeat the lesson and then go straight into Jesus' commentary. Nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place, means anything. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. This is the first day of the rest of your life. I am happy that you are here with me now. I will be with you whenever you do these lessons. I want you to understand that you are calling in the greatest teachers of all time. There is not just me, but also many ascended master teachers involved in the transformation of Earth's consciousness at this time. By taking the first step in this long journey toward the rehabilitation of your mind, you call in great teachers and walk with beings far more powerful than you know. These lessons seem small, they seem insignificant, but process by process, thought by thought, and idea by idea, your mind will be healed. In these baby steps, you might notice at times even a physical difference in your consciousness. For example, you may experience feelings in your head or body, or you might hear slightly different sounds ringing in your ears. You might even feel pressure on certain parts of the body. With your training in the Judeo-Christian teachings of your time, it is very important that fear not be allowed to generate an anxious feeling. You are expanding your consciousness, and your body is a reflection of your consciousness. It is created by your consciousness, and you will have shifts in your bodily feelings as a consequence of the expansion of your mind. On this side of the veil, there is much less separation than on your side. So when I say we work as a collective, many ascended master teachers. But this particular project is mine. These teachings are about expansion. They are about freedom, true freedom. You cannot be free in your physical body when you are not free to think and choose with your mind. We are taking down the barbed wire around the concentration camp of your limited ego mind. And you will feel expansion in many different ways. Be brave and step into these new feelings with enthusiasm and curiosity rather than fear. When you experience fear arising in your mind, know that it is planted there by some less than loving teaching. You are brave indeed, stepping into this new work. It is with great pleasure that we hold you close to our hearts and encourage you to do these lessons and to join us tomorrow for lesson 2. I am the one you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you again soon. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.